Hey everyone, so today I'm going to share with you something that I've done for years, and it just helps keep me sane while working from home with kids and also trying to balance that mom and wife life. So we're just going to kind of chat. I'm on my couch. I got some stuff here to share with you guys and what I've learned through the years, and hopefully this helps you guys during this time, especially when a lot of us are working from home right now. So you can grab a drink. Feel free to speed this up, slow it down, pause it, take notes, whatever you need, and let's go ahead and get started. Vanilla Coke Zero, by the way. It's life. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. Okay, so like I said, something that's helped me with working from home is having a block schedule. So if you've never heard of a block schedule, what it is the way that I learned about it, think about it as you're back in high school. So you're in high school and you're going to math class. When you're in math class, you have your math notebook, you have your regular notebook, whatever that you're taking your notes in, and you're focused 100% on math. Now when that bell rings and you go to the next class, you put all of your math stuff away and say you're going to science. So you go to science class, you get out your science textbook and all of your science stuff, and you're focused 100% on science. So those two things never interconnect, and you're not having to juggle in your brain 15 different things from 2 different subjects. So that's kind of where the block schedule system comes from. It keeps you focused on whatever you're supposed to be focused on, and that's where that productivity level for you will go through the roof because you're focused and you're not rabbit trailing off everywhere. I went ahead and created this. My block schedules have definitely changed over the years, I will say that. This is the one that I've been using most recently. Super simple to create. If you want a copy, a free edible copy, I can actually give you a link that you can use to print off one that you can edit and use for your own. But this is just something that, like I said, I created really quickly, and it just has my blocks that I typically use. I have a morning block, a work block, a productivity block, a family block, and a night block. You can have more blocks, you can have fewer blocks, whatever fits your lifestyle and what you're focusing on. But for me, those are the main areas that I choose to focus on. I focus in the morning, I have my work that I have to do, and then my productivity is anything from like cleaning the house, running errands, anything like that. My family time, family's a huge priority for me, so I always make sure I have that scheduled in, and then obviously our nighttime routines. So when I print these off, I will say I will use the same one. I'll kind of show you here. This is what I'm working on right now. So I started using this. I know it says daily block, but I typically will use the same sheet for a whole week. So what I'll do is I'll print it off at the beginning, and I have some things that I already have edited in to each block that I do every day regardless. So some of the things, like for my morning block, I have, get ready, my time alone with God, where I pray or read scripture or whatever. I have, we make our beds, I get the kids ready, we eat breakfast. Those are things that are never going to change. I'm always going to do those things every day. And then I make my own notes depending on what I need to get done that specific morning that I sit down. Because in my morning block, I do have notes at the bottom, and that just is where I will sit down with this schedule and, my cup of coffee, and I'll fill this out for what I need to get done that day. So things I need to get done at work, anything I need to get done around the house or errands, if I want to schedule something fun for our family to do, and then anything that I need to do at nighttime. So I'll write those in, and then as I complete them, I'll just cross them off. So I don't have to print one of these off every single day. I can use it, all week long. But it still keeps me organized day by day by day, so I know exactly what I'm doing. So this is what, like I said, this is real life. This is what mine looks like right now. I have completed all my stuff for work today because obviously we're past noon, and so right now I'm actually in, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. So I'm in my family time right now. My kids are upstairs watching a movie, and my husband's filming this, so that's part of my family time today. But yeah, so this is what mine looks like. Like I said, if you guys want a copy where you can edit it and use it for yourself, let me know, and I can send you a link where you can download a free printable copy that you can edit. Some tips that I want to share with you guys though that I've learned over the years Number one, like I said, make sure you choose blocks that are what you want to focus on and for your life. So like I said, my family is a huge one. I have a whole block dedicated to my family because my family is one of my top priorities. My work, obviously, I have to have that. The world revolves around money. Everybody has to have an income. And then productivity, I am very much a list person, and I feel really good when I can check things off of my list. So that was a big block for me. And then I'm a mom. Morning and night routines are essential in making sure that I don't pull out all of my hair with my kids. So those are the ones that I chose, but if you need to have more or less, feel free to do what works for you. Another thing with a block schedule is you want to make sure that your time frames are reasonable. So part of this whole block schedule thing is making sure that you're not setting aside, a half an hour to do a task, because then in that half an hour, something can come up, somebody can call you, you can get stuck in traffic. Anything can come up and it can put you off of that half an hour, and then you just feel like you're behind, you feel overwhelmed, you feel like you're failing, and that's defeating the whole entire purpose. So I say at least 2 to 4 hours for each block. Mine are all in 3-hour blocks. Now that doesn't mean it's gonna take me 3 hours to complete everything in the block, and if it doesn't, that's fine. I can either choose to have some free time, me time, go do a mask, go make a coffee, whatever, or I can just choose to go to my next block. It's completely flexible. You do what works for you. But having that extra time sets me up for success, because then I know I'm going to have plenty of time to complete those tasks. However, if something comes up and I don't, I can just leave it on my task list or on my block schedule for that day, and I can complete it the next day. So you don't want to go over your blocks. You want to stay within those blocks. Hold up. Wait a minute. The next thing I would say is, I hear a lot of people say, well, I can't do a block schedule because my day-to-day tasks or my day-to-day schedule is completely different. I don't have a schedule that's day by day that is the same. And I would agree with you. My schedule's not the same every day either, but our schedules are all going to be very similar. So your day-to-day schedule is going to be extremely similar, but what's going to be changing is your tasks. So you might have a doctor's appointment one day, but not the next day. That task changes. So with the block schedule, when you have a task come up, you just need to know what block that goes in. I know right away that if I have errands, that goes in my productivity block, because that's something I can write down on a list and I can check off. That is 100% productivity. If, I have a work meeting one day, but not another day, it still goes in my work block. I still need to make sure that I complete that between 9 and 12. I schedule it between 9 and 12 as much as I possibly can. So that would be another thing too. And then if you are someone who, because this used to be me, I used to only work from home on 2 days a week and then work from an office 3 days a week. So I used to have 2 different block schedules. And at the time, I was kind of new to block scheduling, so I thought, I'll just have a different block schedule for each day. Don't do that. It's going to be way harder for you to be effective with your block schedule, and it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, plain and simple. So if you are someone who needs to have 2 different block schedules, that's fine. Just don't have a different block schedule for each day of the week. Have 2 different ones. Have your work from home block schedule, have your working from the office block schedule, or something like that, but don't have a different block schedule for each day. Another thing that I do is, going back to that whole you're in high school again analogy, I set alarms on my phone. I have an embarrassing amount of alarms on my phone. But what I do is, when my block is going to start, so for example, my morning block is from 6 to 9. My work block is from 9 to 12. At 8:55, I have an alarm. My husband can attest to this. It probably drives him nuts. I have an alarm go off every work day, Monday through Friday at 8:55. And that's my alarm telling me, like, okay, in 5 minutes, my next block is going to start. And that's when I wrap up anything from my morning block that I'm doing, so I can start my work block on time. So I highly recommend doing that, because otherwise you can lose track of time and then your block schedule just goes to the wayside. So set an alarm so that you stay on task. Another thing, know when you're most productive. So most people, our brains are fresh, we feel most energized in the morning because you're just coming off of a night's worth of sleep, hopefully, and you got some coffee in you, or tea, whatever your drink of choice is, and you just feel the most productive in the morning. So that's why, as you can see on my list, my block schedule, I have the most preset things that I do in the morning. So in the morning, I get ready, I have my time alone with God, I make my beds, because that's huge. Always make your beds, even if your husband disagrees with you. Make your bed. It makes you feel better, it makes the room look cleaner. Make your bed. I get the kids ready, we have breakfast, I clean up from breakfast, I unload the dishwasher from the night before, I start a load of laundry, because here in Arizona, we can't use our laundry all day long. We have certain times where we can use it when we can't. So I start my load of laundry in the morning so I can make sure I finish it before I can't use it anymore. I set out anything for dinner prep. So if I have meat that I need to lay out, I set that out. So it's, getting ready for the evening. And then that's when I sit down and I do the rest of my block schedule with my notes. That's when I'll sit down and I'll say, okay, what else do I need to accomplish today? And I will put those things in the individual blocks. So know when you're most productive and try and get those things in that block. Another thing I would say is make sure you schedule downtime. Downtime for your family, downtime for yourself, and downtime with your spouse, because the world can be so busy. I know right now it's probably seeming like we have all the downtime in the world, but for when this whole coronavirus thing is over, make sure you schedule those things in. So like I said, I have family as a whole block for me. So anything that I want to do with my family, I will put in there. This is the one I'm currently using. So we're gonna play Family Uno tonight, and we're gonna play some other games tonight. So that's really important. Schedule that. And then in my nighttime, I have get unready, and for me that can be washing my face and throwing on a mask and having a little bit of me time. I also have time alone with spouse. So once the kids are in bed, my husband and I will typically sit down and we'll watch some TV show together, or we will just sit and talk, or we'll read scripture together, or something where we're alone together. That's always really, really important. Make sure that you schedule that in. And then the last thing I would say, have grace and flexibility. This is not written in stone. It's a piece of paper. You can erase it. You can cross things out. You can move things to the next day if you don't get it done. Have grace and flexibility, because nobody's perfect and you can't hold yourself to a standard that's unattainable. So that would be everything that I would have to say about that. Like I said, if you guys want a copy, let me know and I would be happy to help you guys. All right, thanks guys. Have a good one. Bye.